I just came back from a huge Pizza Expo event in Los Angeles where we shot a lot of cool content. So I decided to share with you what equipment and tools I brought with me to this event as a videographer. Without further ado, let's just get to the meat of this video. Before we actually get into fancy and cool camera and gear stuff, I want to show you what I actually pack it all into. My backpack, Love Pro Fast Pack. Being honest with you, I never understood why people would spend over $50 to get a backpack. Before I got this bad boy. It has nice little adjustable compartments that I can change depending on the gear I'm trying to fit. Very durable and even comes with a little rain protection cover inside of it. As far as the price go, I think I have a 28 liters model and when I bought it was $150 to $200. But if you're gonna be carrying camera equipment worth thousands of dollars, it might be a good investment to protect it. Now let's get into cameras. Here I had two of them. Main camera, Sony FX30 cinematic line, as well as a smaller Sony ZV-E10. Why do I need two of them and why did I bring both of them to the Pizza Expo event? Well, FX30 was the main content capture and I used it majority of the time, while ZV-E10 had a function of the second angle if we would be dealing with some interviews or podcasts. And another reason to bring two cameras if you have the option to is a pure backup. Just in case something happens with the main camera, I mean it's technology, something can go wrong, you always have a backup and you're not gonna upset your client. FX30 is just an amazing camera, I love it and it did great during the event. I was really satisfied with the quality of footage and all those features like 4K, 120 FPS, 10-bit and in-body camera stabilization came very handy. And obviously you need some lenses for your cameras, right? To the event I brought two of them with me. Sigma 16mm 1.4 and so-called Nifty 50 Sony 15mm 1.8. And the second one is probably my favorite lens so far. I think it's below $200, that's what I got it for, so it's pretty cheap compared to other lenses, and it gives you that creamy smooth background. I just love this lens. Here's by the way a little snippet that was recorded on the ZV-E10 and 50mm during the previous event. But during this event in Los Angeles, it was kind of the setting of the street festival, so I had limited distance to work with. So 16mm Sigma was the main choice here, allowing me to get that wider angle of the footage. And since we're talking about the cameras, there's few more accessories that I carry with me pretty much all the time when it's a video day. First and foremost, spare batteries. We had 2 intense days of shooting, of constant shooting, so no matter how good your battery is in camera, you're probably gonna run out of it sooner or later. So it's always good to have a backup, just quickly change the battery and keep going with the content. The spare batteries for FX30, I got them for like $50 I think, and the spare batteries for the ZV-E10 were like $20 or $25. So it's pretty cheap, but they can give you a lot of leverage when you're shooting content. Second essential, ND filters. If you don't know what they do or what they even are, think about them as a sunglasses for your camera. When you go outside during the bright day and you're not wearing any sunglasses, everything is gonna look overexposed, overblown, and that's kind of the same thing with cameras. So ND filter help you to kind of darken and tone down the image a little bit to get that exposure meter to the normal values during the sunny day. ND filters come in different sizes depending on the radius of your lens at the end, so I have a different one for Sigma lens, for Sony lens, and for Sony kit lens for ZV-E10. The last thing on the list of accessories is dust cleaning kit. I got this one from Walmart, it was like $12 or $10 and super handy. You can blow out the dust of your lens or your camera sensor and it's just super easy to use. The next item in my bag is camera gimbal. Even though FX30 has in-body camera stabilization, the footage still looks a little bit shaky, especially when you move a lot. That being said, if it's a shoot day, I'm not leaving the house without my gimbal. DJI RS3 Mini. My entire setup comes up to 1.1 kilogram I think, which is still a comfortable weight it can handle. And the best part about this specific model, it's super lightweight. I can balance my camera on it and shoot content for hours without my arm going absolutely dead. But the type of the gimbal you want to get will depend on your setup. If you have 70 to 200mm lens on your Sony global shutter camera, mini model of the gimbal that I have might just not fit your needs. And since we touched on stabilization of the footage, I also bring my travel-friendly tripod with me. I mean, look how small it gets, and here is when I extend it. I'm 6'9" for reference. This is a Sunpak Travel Pro, I think that's what it's called, or something like this. I got it a little bit over $100, I think $150 it was, and I use it all the time when we're shooting some podcast or some longer interviews because I don't want to hold my hand with the gimbal. It's shaky footage still a little bit because I still move my arm a little bit, so putting the camera on tripod, letting yourself rest and just recording it from the tripod is super cool. And the same thing as the camera applies here. Since you're gonna be putting a lot of expensive camera gear on top of your tripod, you might want to invest a little bit extra to that piece of gear to get the good high quality stuff that will not break under your camera and just drop everything down. And last, but definitely not the least on this list, is good audio. The ability to capture good high quality audio is essential regardless of the content you're doing. I shoot a lot of interviews, demos and other talking videos, so I couldn't wish for the better tool than this Rode Wireless Pro. They come in a set of receiver and 2 transmitters and are able to record the highest 32-bit audio, meaning that even if you're gonna yell at them, they most likely still won't clip the audio. Super easy to use, and most often I just have a receiver attached to the camera and I just give a transmitter to people and they just talk to it like I'm doing right now, or you can actually clip it to your shirt like this and talk even without holding it in your hands. But if you want a little bit tidier setup without this thing being inside of the frame, they actually come with a set of lavaliers to give you a little tidier setup. We actually just utilized those lavaliers during the barbershop brand story shoot, and as you can see right here, you can barely see it on the person. So that's the main stuff that inside of my camera bag when I travel to shoot some festivals, etc. When I travel locally inside of my area and I go to shoot some business videos, I bring some of my light with me, like aperture 200x or 100D, all those light domes, reflectors, etc, etc. But if you travel farther, you might not have the opportunity to bring all those lights with you, so that's my kind of mini setup that I go with. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videography tips and content. I post it all the time, so you'll definitely find something valuable here. Go check out all of my videos and I'll see you in the next one.